Britain. My name is Sheldon, commentating with you tonight, and in the comments box as well, sharing with me Tier 2 drivers Willem Pofmeis and Pandego Marku. Gentlemen, how's it going this evening?
Very good, very good.
Fine, thanks, Sheldon.
Good to hear from you guys. It's been only 3 days since we were last on this track, and we had a very exciting race for Tier 2. We had a wet qualifying throughout, but had a super dry race. That was pretty exciting for me, leading for a bit. But how did your race go, guys?
Very well. Ended up with a win there, but it all played out. I think I had a good hand there for that game.
Yes, no, and I think Marco, how did it go for you?
Yeah, I started at third place. Safety car did me in a little bit, but I know Pofmeis cut a little grass to get to the pits when our safety car came out, but I'm very happy to see the clear blue skies for the Tier 1 guys. I know the last two races, both races had rain, so let's hope and cross our fingers that these guys can show us what they can do in the dry conditions.
Yeah, for sure. I was watching some of the practice during over the weekend and yesterday as well. Seen some of the times that these guys actually are putting up there. As we see, Senior Ghost doing a 130.7 right now at the gate. We are following his burnout 007, but the boys are putting in lap times on mediums below the 1 minute 30s, and for Silverstone on qualifying, that's pretty damn quick, I do say. GJ Buerta there with a 133.8, and he absolutely wrecks it against the Pirelli boards. A bit unfortunate there. But Eugene S44 with a 130.92. There we go, Force 13 going 127.6. You see what I mean, guys? There's some serious pace going on around here.
Yeah. Again, said someone who puts a benchmark on so early. We didn't even come close to those times. So really, I think they're already going to struggle to get to that 127.
There we go, Savage Moses, one of our newer drivers as well, also putting a second quickest time there, 129.3, so he's still about 1.7 seconds off the pace alone. And so we just want to introduce you YouTube to some of our newer members. Yes, Force 13 joining us, Savage Moses as well joining us, both of them obviously taking up the Alfa Romeos, and then we also have me Buddha. He's now in the Williams on his outlap, and then also joining us JC Lachranzi, Jacques Lachranzi, sorry. So I believe they are pretty quick drivers, elite from these other leagues they do drive in and race in, and we're privileged to have them here tonight. Boys, what do you think of the new additions?
Yeah, it's really interesting to see what these guys can do. Force 13 already showing us he's very fast. I think it puts a little extra element into the race because the other guys know nothing about these new drivers, where they got used to each other in previous races.
Yeah, well, Willem, do you think it really throws a span in the works as we follow Lee around? You know, he's got a rivalry brewing with Divan Swan 49, who I cannot see on tonight. Yes, I see. I'm not sure why he's not participating this evening, but it throws a span in the works into that battle. Willem, what do you make of it? I think we have lost Willem.
Hello, can you hear me?
There we go, Willem, we got you back.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, I think especially now missing a race like this, it's going to be in benefit to Lee himself. But you see, there's a lot of new guys on the track, so you want to be wary. Yes, you have a rival, but you've got some new names on the field as well, so you don't want to throw all the toys out the cot yet, because people tend to build on that habits and then they can use it against you on the track at the end of the day. So just see what happens, where you end up. if it's with the usuals, you can just let your hair down and do what you usually do. But I think at this stage, to be comfortable now, I think you have to be better at this stage now than you ever been, because you have to be that benchmark you've been all season.
That's true. I mean, we've seen the capability of our two top drivers, and as Lee comes around the final corner now over the start finish straight, he puts it into second with 1:28.4. Very competitive, decent time. He's only about 8 tenths off Force 13, and you're right, Willem, you're benchmarking yourselves against quicker and quicker guys that are coming into our league, starting to ride with us, which is awesome to see. But yes, it makes every driver every driver in the league want to be better, but also now we are starting to fight against guys that are ultimately quick and bring some serious pace, so some contenders for the championships there.
Yeah, I think you see the championship is open, I think, all season, even with Marku. Like, if we were practicing together, like a lot of our times are similar to each other, like neck and neck. So even I think the fortune that lays for you on the track, your own game at the end of the day. So if you have that opportunity, grab it. But I must congratulate him. He went from 12th to 4th as well, which is very well. The same thing happened to us at the previous race as well. So we just need to stick there. I think me and Marco, we're just getting faster and faster.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think just to add on that, Avila also said in our stream that this is a team sport as well, so you really have to work together as teammates to score as most points as you can. I take Austria for example. I was very negative after the race, but Willem said, listen, we both were in the top 10, scored enough points, and we kept the constructor leaderboard. So teamwork also very important, especially when you have maybe one faster driver compared to someone who's only starting.
Yep, true for sure. So we are in Q1, and just to inform again our viewers, Q1, only the top 15 drivers will proceed through to Q2. So that means if you fall 16th and lower, and as Boris now goes into 7th with a 1, sorry, I actually need to change that. He's 1.9 seconds off the pace, but he's on the hards, so he could still make up some decent time and actually be a competitive for that top 3 spot, or even maybe a front row position there. So yes, as I was saying to our viewers, that from 16 down you are eliminated after Q1, and it becomes a top 15 for Q2. Then after Q2, the top 5, the top 10 then go through, the bottom 5 get pulled out. So right now as we stand, Force 13 in the pit lane with that fastest lap of a 1:27.6. Lee van Rooyen second, Tracy Legrange, he's now third. Competitive great time from, you see our new guys already showing their pace and this strutting their stuff. We have one of our older drivers to the league, Nick Kishan in 4th. Tiger Bolt also in his second race, 1st on the 1:29.3. Savage Moses 1:29.3 as well. Very close between him and Tiger Bolt. As we follow Nam Bulldog, and he now drops to 8th. So Eugene has 44, then goes 6th with his 1:29.3. Look how pretty close they are in those 1:29s, guys. We've got a 1:29.2, and we've got 5 positions separated from a 1:29.2 to a 1:29.5, whose Boris is done on the hard as he comes into the pits. And yeah, as I said, Nam Bulldog then in 8th, Boris 9th, Bernard 007 10th, Senior Ghost 007 11th, Kedonks, SR Kedonks 12th. It's me, Buddha, also one of our newer drivers on the medium there, 1:31.1. So there's still some more time to come out there. Deerwald DBR 257. Thankfully, he sorted out his issues with his system, and he's racing again with us this weekend. Tonight, it's Wizards first rule. Then in the danger zone, Manu Dietrich, Rishan GJ Botha and Abelach, who's yet to set a time.
Yeah, and I think Abelach, I'm looking forward to seeing his race. We heard Willem say in the post-commentary with TO2, Avilach's favorite track is Silverstone, so I'm expecting big things from him today. I think we have a few drivers. You mentioned all the new drivers, but most of our, let's say, original drivers we had from our old league, guys like Nick Kishan, Nam Bulldog, Baris, I think all of them haven't shown what they can do because of bad luck in races. I think there's a few guys who still have to show their top pace, but because of bad luck in previous races, they maybe didn't get the chance to show what they really can do.
Yes, I'm with you, and it'll be nice to see now how they step the game up, knowing that they've got these newer drivers to have joined our league. And you're right, a lot of our guys have got the serious potential to make this a top 10 fight for wins, because we've seen some seriously close racing. It's also maybe become a lot more competitive, and yes, Burris, man, you guys definitely to look out for. Haven't had the best of luck in some races. We know Lee van Rooyen super quick, Eugene S44 also very much on the pace most of the time. Jacques Lagrange, then Lagrange goes second with his 128.2. There we go, Abelach putting in a brilliant time, 129.0 to go fourth. But yeah, so we know Kudonks as well as ride around with Kudonks. He's also got some serious pace. So we got a good mixture of guys who've got good experience, but guys who've just got all-out raw pace. And it comes from the new guys and then our existing lineup.
Yeah, at the moment, our two new boys at the top showing us what their pace is and telling the other boys that they're here not to play and they're here to race. I'm trying to find out where Divan is tonight, because I think we all love the previous battles between him and Lee van Rooyen. It would be a shame if we can't see that again tonight. So I'm just trying to follow up and see where Divan is tonight. Maybe he's gonna join later.
Yeah, some technical aspect I've seen here, and I don't know if you guys can see it with me. I see a lot of guys are either using very high numbered rear wings, where some of the faster guys are using much lower aero wings on this track. But you see, that's where the combination of your front wing and your rear wing also has to play a very, very big effect here, because if you have too much rear spin, you're not going to sit in between those long corners that Silverstone hosts so beautifully.
Sorry, Willem, to cut you in. I see Force 13, who was in first place at the moment, retired from session. And we had this in Tier 2 as well. I can't remember who it was, but I think he will fall out here.
Yes, the same happened to on Monday night as well. We had an issue with a driver who was one of our newer drivers as well. He's got a pretty, I think, a legend name, Saggy Fat Face. I'm not sure what his numeral value was after that. He did a 144.1, which was in the wet, which was a time would have put him fourth. Yet he also, unfortunately lost connection to the session and got kicked out. So Force 13 then set in the benchmark, but unfortunately it doesn't look like he's going to partake in Q2. And I see Lee van Rooyen's also in and out of the session, so maybe there is some issue regarding servers and some connectivity as well.
That's going to give someone at the bottom maybe a chance to go through to Q2, because like you said, in Tier 2 race, I think it was Q3, we were only 9 drivers in Q3. In the same, and there we have JC Lagrange also.
JC Lagrange here as well. Looks like there's some maybe some technical issues regarding some connection to the game server itself. As I see, like I say, Lee van Rooyen in and out the session. I've seen one other driver as well in and out the session. I'm just not sure. Maybe the guys can just put up some comments there. just for us to see if there's actually something going on. So yeah, just as we got 35 seconds left of the session, Senior Ghost on the lap as he comes down to Maggots, running up to Maggots, going through Beckett's. That's a lovely flow of corners. Seriously fast through the first two, and then you just gear it down twice, go through Beckett's, then onto the hanger straight, through round Chapel, onto the hanger straight, making your way all the way down to Stowe. Silverstone, guys, lovely circuit, absolutely a racer's dream. So, there we have it.
So,
yes.
Sheldon, I just want to cut you in there. I just want to say, I see it's Burnout 007. He's currently in 14th, my previous teammate when we were at Williams. I'm really rooting for him to go through to Q2, and saying that he goes 15th now, so he'll be hoping Manu Dietrich and Risen cannot kick him out of that.
Man, Bulldog goes 4th with a time of 1:28.9. Yeah, so Wizards first rule and Burnout 14th, 15th there for you. The only Manu, let's see, ride with Manu as he is also going through Beckett's right now.
I think Senior Ghost and Manu Dietrich will also go through because of Force, and if the game does the same as...
I see Senior Ghost has seen the checkered flag, so I don't think he can improve on his time. The only one that I do see will be able to is Manu. And yeah, look at our Facebook. Look at our Facebook channel as well as our YouTube videos, where Manu Dietrich and Barry have a little dust up on a interview session. Obviously focusing on Manu doesn't improve. He will start 17th. That's a bit unfortunate, but yes, it's Wizards first rule, and it's Burnout go through to Q2 for you there, Marco.
Luckily I see Force and JC Lagranci also going through. Really glad they didn't get disqualified from that session and not going through, because we want all our fast drivers in the next qualification. But yeah,
yes,
hard luck for Senior Ghost, Manu Dietrich and Risen, and GJ Bota.
Yeah, they fall out of the qualifying, and yeah, looks like Divan, no word on Divan.
I have sent messages. We will see. Oh, I don't think he's racing tonight. He will not be joining us.
Okay, unfortunately, that would have been, would have been a beautiful nail-biting event with Divanya, Eugene, Lee, and then as we see, Jacques.
Having a dry race or dry section, you need to look out for the long run, and it's a very consuming circuit as well.
Yeah, I think at the moment the whole pack is split, a few softs and a few mediums, so the guys really going half and half, mediums and softs. Just to add from my race on Monday, because of circumstances I had to change to a soft tire for the last 6 laps I think, and Willem mentioned it, and I gained a lot of places because the guys are on old mediums by then. So yeah, I'll be rooting for the guys on the medium tires. I think that would be the better option, because you get so much out of that. Or they will be going medium hard, it's hard to say. We'll see what they do.
Yeah, well, I think we're also fortunate enough, I went soft medium, also fortunate enough that we had 2 safety cars which ate about 6 laps under safety car conditions, which allows you then to save those tires, eat up some of the laps, and then keep some performance in towards the latter part of the race. So if we have similar instances, then I also think yes, staying with the softer compounds might actually be the right option to go with.
You see, I'll always start a race with a harder compound just to feel how the pack is feeling, because any soft compound you will stick it out for at least 9 to 10 laps, but with the mediums you can at least go 15 to 14 laps, and that's about semi-quarter through your race. So you always want the upper hand when it comes to that strategies, but you see your strategy can at least change within instant. if someone crashes or a safety car comes up, then you can grab that softs. And you don't have to use them, and you can keep them for longer. So go for the hards.
Yeah, I'm with you. And that strategy really plays dividend in a race such as ours, the online format, where in a normal track in real life you wouldn't really get a safety car or have that many incidents that might actually cause a safety car to come out, such as a track as Silverstone, where the online scene is there's some out of the ordinary incidents that might cause a safety car, and that will then change up your strategy. So yes, if you run those hards as well, maybe the first part of the, as I'm going over the line with Nick Gish, he sets a 1:29.2, decent lap by Nick Gish, and as we move on to Savage Moses, he'll be the next to cross the line. We know one of our newer drivers pretty quick. He the 1:29.7 goes second. So yes, if you put those hards on, that safety car is fortuitous to you towards the end. You get that soft on, and as you said, Marco, you can make up a few places with those guys. Their tires are pretty tired towards the end.
It's I know the other guys are still coming around for their laps, but all the medium guys are locking out the top 3 at the moment. But just to say something, I see the
Tiger Bolt goes quicker there on these soft. So yeah, a bit of a mix there. Some guys doing very well on the medium. Looks like it's going to be a split up on the strategy. I think maybe a 130.5 might be cut off. Yes, Marco.
I think, just to ask you, I think the number 1 spot will go to the guy who can make a 127.3 or 0.2, just because of that first lap in Q1 we had from, who was it, Force 13. I think if you want to set in pole position for this race, I think a 127 at least.
Yeah. It'll have to be in those 127. Still Force 13 still in the pits, so maybe he's just biding his time. Just leave it as late as possible, not to look, he's got the pace to maybe do a one runner, and we'll just go into Sharks here. I'm loving his helmet. He's got this pumpkin helmet on and it looks absolutely terrifying, but it actually works with the car. It's pretty cool. Looks like Jack Skeleton riding Formula 1 with us. As you see there, we come down the main straight. He purples sector 1. Now him coming through Woodcote to the old start-finish straight of the previous layout of the track. He makes his way down to Cops Corner, which is him then into Maggots and Beckett's, which is a lovely, again, as I said, there's a lovely flow of corners, a lovely track. We'll see him come through Sector 2, timing just after the Chapel Corner, which is the last part of the Maggots, Beckett's, then into Chapel. As you see the DRS there, he opens it up, comes over Sector 2, Purple Sector 2, comes now down the hanger straight to Stowe Corner. Pretty quick corner, you can keep your car in 5th there, down to Vale, which is now the chicane, just before they now come onto the new start-finish straight of the new setup, through Club. Oh, and he loses it at Club Corner. He was on there for a pretty decent lap, and he sees himself cutting grass for Claire Williams at this point in time.
Disqualification.
Disqualified for going the wrong way. That's a bit harsh from Codemasters. Really pretty unfortunate there. As this drive on board was Foss, he's about to start his lap. Just gone past where, he had to dodge Jacques there as he's coming around the corner, and he now making his way down to Abbey, now newly named Farm Curve, going through the loop, which is probably the slowest part of the track, making his way down the Wellington Straight, through down to corner 6 and 7, which makes up Luffield. Guys, pretty strict from Codemasters on that one. He was just trying to get the car turned around.
Yeah, you see, I wouldn't actually see this whole qualifying station as such a significant station. I would say it's very significant if you're going to start the race with this tire. Yes, then it can maybe be a place. I'll only try for top 10. But to try and just go all out on Q2, it's quite reckless in certain circumstances, but you don't want to waste that certain tires that you want to have in your back stock at the end of the day, because you could use them in the race as well. So I would say for the guys that went all out and going to use that tire to advantage, well done. But I think just to go all out for lap time, I think it's just a waste of tires.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that the boys will just get a lap time in, make sure they're in the top 10. As you say, maybe save a decent set for, again, extra attack on Q3, or then additional set for the race come safety car time. But don't again. I'm actually flabbergasted by the way Jacques actually got disqualified there. It's pretty weird, but I don't know what to make of it.
Yeah, I think we spoke about this just before the stream started. I think because we are playing a game, and especially online games, there will always be a problem here and there from the game side. We had a lot of stuff in our game, our race in Tier 2 from the start, from your disqualification on the safety car, that also very strange to everyone. I think, like Valim said before the stream started, he said try and stay far away from anything that can disqualify you, the safety car especially. Driving the wrong way, we have the option of pushing the start button, reset to track. Do that as soon as possible, because yeah, like JC Lagrange just saw, it's gonna cost you.
Yeah, because in full disqualification, even if you're off track, not even in danger, just trying to get the car turned around. I think he just maybe went a bit too far forward on the wrong direction, so he finds himself disqualified. But as we stand with 4 minutes 45 seconds to go in Q2, Tiger Bolt out in front, or in first with a 1:28.8. Lee van Rooyen showing his pace once again at a 1:28.9. Nick Gishen 1:29.2. Boris 01 keep showing us again he's definitely got the pace in his Mercedes, a 1:29.2. So pretty close between himself and Nick Gishen. Just 0.003 of a second separates them. We got SR Kadonk's really good show in there on 5th. One of our new guys, Savage Moses there, 6th. It's me, Buddha, who we are now riding along with as he comes down.
Oh, Eugene, going fastest with 1:28.7.
Well spotted there, Willem. I was actually looking for his name to see if he set the time, and he just pops it up into first. Nam Bulldog 9-10, so the guys at risk there are DBR 257, Deervolt. 12th, it's Burnout 007. 13th, our American friend, it's Wizard's First Rule. And then Force 13, who is now out of the pits and on a lap. Yeah, he had that an aborted lap, so he now going out again to try and get it. I was on board with him when he ran, cut the corner through maggots. So yeah, he got invalidated lap time, and now he'll go through. So those at risk, 11th to 14th, because JC Lagrange is out. Sorry, Jacques Lagrange is out. So JC, I'm just using his first initials. Maar Afrikaans is not so lekker sometimes, guys. I know we said ons gaan uitsaai in Afrikaans vanaand, maar yeah, we talk English. So I'm also just checking, very mixed bag of, and Force 13 there, just pushing slightly too hard through Magnussen Beckett's, lost the back end, and yeah, he's pulled out of that lap, although he purpled sector 2 as well.
Yeah, I don't know, he went off track and still managed to get a purple sector 2, so I don't even want to know what that lap would have been if he didn't go off track there.
He's charged through that tyre a little bit. Let's see. He pops it into 6th. Loses a bit. Pops it into 6th. Force 13's got some serious pace on him. And luckily he's now used that lap and got himself into the safe zone. So, looks like you need to be quicker than a 1:29.8 to get yourself into the top 10. We do have, it's Burnout 007 who's out on a lap. He's now coming through, excuse me, I've got a bit of a dry throat. Luffield into Woodcote, which then takes him onto the old, again, main straight, through Corpse, into that lovely, again, I love this section, Maggots and Beckett's. Guys, how does it feel actually going through Maggots and Beckett's? What rush do you get? And how do you plant the car through here? Because, yeah, you can gain a lot of time, but you can lose even more.
Yeah, you see, I'm on board with Nam Bulldog now, and I just want to see how's it going to work out, because he's at 11th now. We've got a minute left, so he really has to push this limits, because I see the previous time he set up was with a medium set, and it really didn't do him much justice there. So I think it's very crucial now either to come at least 10th or 9th at this stage.
I don't think he's going to be able to get to the finish line before the time runs out. I think he will not be able to do another race, lap. Sheldon, just...
He's actually on a timed lap. He is on a timed lap.
He's on a timed lap now.
We're on with him. As I see, it's Burnout 007 did not improve his time, so he stayed 13th. He does have an option to run another lap because he made it over the checkered, the finish line before the checkered flag. If he's got enough ERS for it, and Force 13 retires from session. Not sure what happened there. I see he's trundling into the pits as Nam Bulldog actually purples sector 2. We are still on board with him as he switched to the softs. So it's Force 13, so it's Force 13, our new driver, and Jacques Lagranci out. But Nam Bulldog coming around the final turn, which is Club, over the start-finish line. He goes quickest at the 1:28.5. Well done, Wim France, also known as Nam Bulldog 88. Fantastic showing there, showing the younger gentlemen, the younger boys, that experience and wisdom on his shoulders is what you need to get yourself through here. Fantastic, really putting himself out and actually kicking It's Me Buddha into 11th. We've seen the checkered flag and he's out, boys.
Yeah,
wow.
I see there's a lot of smiles there in the Haas garage at this stage, so I must give it to them. I think now what we are going to experience next is going to be very, very, very tight times. And I think especially a lot of the top 5 guys are going to push out the best times they can. So let's hope Force 13 and Mr. Lagranci, they can maybe get themselves back to the station, and then we'll see what we're going to take from there. But I'm not going to underestimate this field. It's going to be very fast. So it's going to be with fractions, at least 20s, 30s of a second, but I think not more or less more than that.
Right, so as we take a quick break now, we see from the 11th down, It's Me Buddha, DBR 257 going out, it's Burnout 007 and Wizard's First Rule losing out. Boys, just from the comments here, got a few comments just to run through quickly. Razor 082, good luck, boys. Also one of our newer drivers, Tier 2 drivers. Brian Luck, good luck. Let's do this. Barry, some support there for Barry, some more support for Boris and Manu. So we've definitely got a Mercedes following here. Gerard Kotze, good luck, boys. Force 13 League Racing, nope, we'll be there, do it all the time, you can do it, they said. Some support for Nick Gisham from Dustin Claassens, my new teammate in the pink car, and he was pretty chuffed. We got some points out of the previous race. Sprackend Afrikaans, very deliciously, Ersten Milman, I try my best. Thank you. And again, with Gerrit Kotze supporting Nam Bulldog. Yeah, what a awesome, absolute stunning lap by him there right at the end to pull himself out of the drop zone. And now we go to Q3, 12 minutes of all-out action. As we see, the guys already down the Force 13 now, not making that mistake and now wanting to go out first and get that lap time in. Now, let's see, boys, who's going to show us the real stuff?
It's a very diverse top 10 that we have here, because we've got no Ferraris, we have one Mercedes, one McLaren, we've got two Aston Martins, Red Bulls, we have one Racing Point, both horses, one Toro Rosso. You see, this is going to be anyone's game in this one. So this is a sit back and watch situation.
Is it just me, or does it something feel weird about not seeing a Ferrari in Q3? I mean, you know, the cars are of equal performance, but at heart, no matter who you are, who you support, Formula One and Ferrari is synonymous with Formula One, and you always want to see them up there. But I mean, I'm a big Ferrari supporter, fun lane stuff, so it's weird, eh? Really, I don't know what to say.
Still, then who needs a Ferrari when you have a pink? We call it the Barbie car.
Yes.
Mr. Tiger Bolt, who took the win in second place last race.
And from almost right from the back of the grid as well, to come there to second. I mean, made up 12 positions, if I'm not mistaken, in Austria to finish second. So that was pretty decent, yes.
Yeah, they say real men wear pink.
Well, I also drive the pink car, so well, I don't know if I'm a real man. We'll leave that to debate. But right now we follow Force 13 as he starts his lap. We can definitely say that he's not going to take a chance this time. And so who was lucky to get through, because we have 10. So yeah, Force 13 who retired from session, yes, actually back. So that's the one that I was missing, and I'm following him.
I think we've said it before in previous races. I think the guys keep their real times for this qualification. So I think now only we'll see. We had a very fast time from Force in Q1 and then Nam Bulldog into Q2. But I think a few of these guys are still keeping their best times for this Q. I don't know, Sheldon, Willem, I don't know who you guys are flipping for pole position. For me it would be between Force 13, Lee van Rooyen, and then I just have a little bit of excitement for Avila. I think he still hasn't shown us what he can do on this track, because from his own words, I think this is his favorite track. So, and usually when you have your favorite track, you are very fast on that track.
Yeah, there's something that just tells you this is your favorite. You say it to everybody. Force 13, 127.7. There's that 127 you were speaking about. That's going to be the benchmark time. Nick Kirshner with the 128.4. Next to cross the line will be Tiger Bolt 12. Yeah, I just missed him there with the 128.8. And Lee van Rooyen now coming around Luffield. My apologies, around Club. To go second with the 128.0. Donks puts himself into fifth, his teammate to 129.6. Lee van Rooyen had a fantastic race in. Barrison goes second with the 128. Dead, guys, look at that. No milliseconds after that.
Boys, I think these drivers can prove me wrong, but I'm going to put my neck out and say I think we have our pole sitter for today. Unless these boys can prove me wrong, but I don't see anyone. I think Force is the only driver who has broken the 128 so far.
I think I'm gonna disagree there with Marco. You see, there's 7.5 minutes left. There's still some doing going on here. So we'll see who's gonna do what. But I think there's some very fast lap times on their way. But I think Force's time is going to be very difficult to match at this stage.
Yeah, that's gonna either we're gonna have Boris and Lee dipping into the 127s and fighting on that with forceful pole, but yeah, it's gonna take some doing definitely to get there. But I'm sure there's more to come. We got Abilach, who's now trying to get his RS again sorted out so he can do another one. We have Savage Moses, who's still in the pits, and Nam Bulldog, our surprise, absolutely awesome lap shown by him to put it in first in Q2. As we follow Abilach around now, he comes down towards the loop of Village and then into the loop, which is turn 4. Then down the slowest part of the corner here, then down the Wellington Straight all to Brooklands and Luffield. Pretty long corners, pretty hard on the front tyres. Pole, my guesstimation, Force 13 looks to have it in the bag right now. The guys have to find, let's say, two tenths plus to threaten his time. Maybe he's got more pace in the bag as well. If that's his full showing, maybe we'll still have someone to threaten that between Boris Lee, Eugene, Tiger Bolt could also probably still dip down. But if he's got more showing, I think we've yes, I think we've got a bolster.
Yeah, you see, especially in doing times like these, you have to manage that ERS to perfection, because if certain tracks are very quick to build up ERS, some tracks are very hard to build up ERS. So you have to time it well, because if your time management are wrong, especially on big international tracks like this, it's gonna throw you off balance.
And Abilach puts his Haas, the bunny car, as they would like to call it, into fourth with the 128.083. Nice to note that he actually purpled the final sector, so I guess he was running on a lower ERS deployment because he's aborted first lap. Savage Moses and Nam Bulldog now both out on a lap, but yes, so Abilach very well done there. Probably took quite a bit of the tyres as we follow his teammate around through Maggots, Beckett's, and as we come up to Chapel, down the Hanger Straight, DRS opens, goes through sector 2, does it in a 104.7. But so yeah, Abilach, I think he's also got some more in the tank if he's got a fresh set of rubber and a full ERS deployment at his disposal. So yes, another dark horse. It's actually difficult to determine who's going to be in that front row.
Savage just purpled sector 2, sector 1, so I'll see what he does in sector 2 now.
Nam Bulldog puts it 8, so we'll follow now Savage round as he comes down the Hanger Straight towards Stowe.
Purple sector 2 as well.
Comes through Stowe. Makes his way down to Vale, which is the left, first left of the chicane. Into Club, corner 17 and 18, onto the main straight. He then goes 5th. So he must have lost quite a bit of time through the final 5 corners, and yeah, puts his vehicle 5th. Well, puts the Alfa Romeo 5th. Still has time. I think he just might have time to get back into the pit, and then put on a quick fresh to the rubber and come back out if he really hurries back to the pit now. But if this is going to be his tyre that he's quickest on for Q2, he also doesn't want to take too much out of it because he might have to start the race on this tyre. No, sorry, my apologies. No, he will not have to start his race on this tyre, so he can actually push to the pit and then get a fresh set of rubber on and get out before the checkered flag for qualifying.
Yeah, there's a lot of ERS left at 78%, so I think he will stay out, just recharging that ERS a little bit.
With Tiger will come around the final corner, lose it a little bit. He was looking to improve his time slightly there. Unfortunately, does not, stays 8th. As we see Eugene come over the line, he now also does not, yes, he does improve time slightly. He is in 6th. Nick Gishin over the line, to start his lap now in the Toro Rosso. Yes.
But Boris and Lee are not going out. If they want to make another lap, they'll have to go out soon. But at the moment, it looks like they are happy with second and third place.
So we've got three guys in the pit. Nam Bulldog in the pit with his 1:29.0. He will start 9th if he stays there. Unless Kadongsu is now out on a lap. He's improved on his sector 2 by 0.02 of a second. So,
we've got Nick Gishen who just spun out at the last corner. I think he was on a hot lap there, but that was not expected.
Not great. So Nick Gish out of the session. Kadongs goes over the line. He improves his own time, but does not threaten Nam Bulldog, so he will stay 10th unless he can push on this lap as well. It looks like he's got about 30 to 40% ERS left on his vehicle. Maybe he can then push, but those tires might be a bit sorted out. So we have Eugene coming into the pit. Savage, Moses, he's out on another lap. He wants to put it on pole.
Yeah, I'm on board with Avilach. Oh, sorry.
No, yes, Avilach.
I'm on board with Avilach now. He just got over that line at 26 seconds. So I think he's going to push here for a very, 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 very quick lap.
Lee van Rooyen went out, but I don't think he's going to have enough time to get over the... and he backs out of it. I think he realizes...
Force hits the wall. He's got the quickest time. He's hit the wall just out of Chapel, but I don't think that'll be an issue. So Barry sees the checkered flag. He'll stay third.
Savage goes second, boys. Alfa Romeo 1-2 lockout.
Alfa Romeo, the old Sauber lockout, the front row. Absolutely amazing. Lee van Rooyen and Boris have seen the checkered flag. They cannot improve. Abilach can improve. He's gone through sector 2 slightly down on his previous time. As we ride on board with him, Kadonks now goes over the final, and he doesn't improve either, Kadonks, with Abilach. So those who can only improve are Abilach and
Purple sector 2.
Purple sector. Looks like he's possibly now showing his hand. Let's see if you can get into at least the second row, as Tiger Bolt is just in front of him. He's going to also go around Club now, the final corner over the line. Tiger Bolt stays 8th. Abilach goes 4th, pushes Lee down to 5th. There we go, boys. Checkered flags are out. Q3 is done. Vos 13 takes the pole. Although he retired from the session, his time will stand at a 1:27.7. Marco, you're right, the 1:27s took the pole. Savage Moses will be second with a 1:27.9. Then Boris Abilach as riding on board with him. Lee van Rooyen, Eugene S44 6th. Nick Gishen also retiring from the session, but his time will stand at a 1:28.4. Tiger Bolt 12 also with a 1:28.4. 8th. Nam Bulldog with the 1:29.0. He'll start 9th, and then the second Red Bull Kadonks, he'll be 10th. But Kadonks, we know, is a very good race strategist and very smooth driver, so I think all to play for those podium spots, boys and girls. Gentlemen.
I think a certain British TV presenter by the name of Jeremy Clarkson will be very happy with Alfa Romeo's being on the 1 and 2, because that's his favorite car. So Savage came from nowhere. I think he just kept his best times in the bag and gave it his all in this qualification, because I don't think we saw that one coming.
You speak about Jeremy Clarkson's favourite vehicles being Alfa Romeo, and as Force 13 showed, they will need to be repaired quite often, as he took the front right suspension off coming out of Chapel. So there we go, we have it. Force 13 takes the pole. His teammate Savage Moses locks out the front grid with those Alfa Romeos. Great showing by the pair. Boris 01 having the pace in the Mercedes AMG. Abilach, another dark horse in the Haas 4th. Lee van Rooyen 5th. Eugene S44 6th, Nick Gishin 7th, Tiger Bolt 12 8th, 9th Nam Bulldog, and then 10th SR Kidonks. We're gonna go
you're still
racing.
breathing, Sheldon.
I'm trying my best to keep up here. You have to take one deep breath and get through it before Codemasters throws you a blank.
I wanted to say, who's playing some M&M now? Because my ears are with verbs and vowels.
You only got 10 seconds to show the top 10. Something stupid like that.
I see a little bit of clouds, boys. I hope the rain stays away.
Yeah. I think Marco just jinxed the race now. Thank you, Marco.
Well, yeah, looks a bit doom and gloom there. And Marco, yeah, maybe your words, I think we did speak about it just before coming into the box, was we had a wet qualifying for Tier 2 and a dry race. Are we going to see the opposite now for the Tier 1, where dry qualifying, and then the weather might play some interesting tactics for the drivers? Right, as the boys line up and get ready to go for their formation lap. So, Willem, talk us through the formation lap. What are you looking at? What are you focusing on? Obviously, you don't want to ride into anybody. This damage is still on. But take us through this lap with force.
I think, especially when me and Marco, we communicate a lot in regards to what are we going to do, who's in front of us, who's behind us, what's going on in the pack. You see, there's a lot of back and forth communication going on, especially when it comes to you and your teammate, especially when you're in such a high ranked space, especially 1-2. Then you have to stay in touch with each other, because if you have to fend off someone to build a lead, you might as well just ducktail him with him and just go all the way. But there's certain strategies that you have to take in consideration, and then further on, just stick to the pace, keep the tires warm, and try and launch as good as you can, because I think that's also one of the trickiest things. And then, because a lot of guys will have some edgy wheel spin, and then some guys will have very little, and then they will be like rockets off the line. So there's a lot. I don't know what Marco, but yeah, I think we have not different rituals, but we just probably just communicate a lot just to try and calm the nerves.
I think these two Alfa Romeo drivers will be very nervous because they are making their debut. So I think Baris is in a very good position because he can see what those two Alfa Romeos will do around the first corner. If those two come together, he will have a easy first place going into the second corner. So I think the nerves on Force and Savage must be going a lot now. But yeah, I also said from my opinion, second position is for me one of the worst places to be, because you are on the inside track. If you don't have a good start, the guy who's going on third will have that racing line. But yeah, Sheldon, take us through the start.
Yeah, so the communication you were talking about, yeah, especially when you lock at the front row with your teammate, as the last of the cars now taking the back of the grid. What do you tell each other? Let me through and I'll be kind to the end of the race. But yeah, we're gonna go racing now. And as we wait for the last of the cars just to take up their places, we'll wait for the lights to come. The track is green. Now we go. Engines are revving. The boys are starting to find those clutch bite points. As we just wait for the lights. There we go. The lights now. One light's up to 3, 5. Out and we go as Foss leads away nicely from Savage. Moses Baris now going over
from Savage.
He's so bogged down there. Lee running wide there. Baris now second. Savage Moses still third. Avilach overtaking. Lee's falling down quite badly. Looks like he's losing a bit at the back. Eugene S44 and who's it? Lee spun right around. He's dropping right to the back. Avilach still has a fifth position. Eugene S44, great winner there. Savage Moses, oh no! Savage Moses and Baris come together. They both. There's more chaos. Avilach out. He's right into Savage Moses. This is all happening through the last few corners. corners,
lot of damage
a
on that
lot
arse.
of damage on the arse, and I think
That's a lot.
on Savage Moses. Unfortunate there, as we see Dierwold right behind Kedonks. Dierwold's coming up pretty good. We'll look at his position change now, but some serious bundu bashing going on there. We also have Tiger Ball 12. He looks to only be coming off the line now. There must have been an issue for him with the start of the race, but Force 13 then leading us through, coming down the coming through Stoke, coming down to Vale. Eugene has 44 now on the in second position. Nick Gishen nicely in third. Devil TBR has lost his wing. What's happening here, guys? There's some serious racing going on. Some serious.
It's amazing that we don't have a
bump
retirement.
stuff.
I think.
No, and Lee and all this. Oh, Ferrari gets hit. Hits in the back of the Lee. Rishan there. He's got some damage on his front end plate. Guys diving into the pits. This is not the start we expected at all from the Silverstone Grand Prix, but we all did have a major first incident in Tier 2 as well, but this, it was just a carnage all over the track. Guys, when are we going to get a chance to actually breathe and run through the order? As we see the track's under safety car conditions now. Now the boys will just slow down. Those who need to will duck into the pit. Get fixed what they need to get fixed.
Safety car, but I think in it already.
Off the virtual safety car and back to racing speed then. Thank you, Willem. Vos 13, he's obviously got through, no issues, no damage. He can manage his race now going further. He's got a decent interval to Eugene, who's 3.3 seconds down the road. Boys, how was that for a start of a race? There was just action all over.
Yeah, you see, I think when it comes to certain racing like this, and I think to a certain extent there's a lot of aspect where experience also plays a role, and then where you cannot take certain positions and certain gaps. And if you're going to be ill-disciplined like that on the track, you see it's going to create carnage and it's just going to destroy the rest of the track. So we'll see who's going to bounce back the best from this. I think that will be your truest contenders.
It's me, Buddha, and Nick Gishen also just coming together. It's me, Buddha, going right off into the gravel, taking Nick Gishen. He comes across the track in another. The Williams takes each other out. They both out of this race. Nick Gishen towards the back. They're coming back on. Oh, what an unfortunate event. Turn events there for the Williams. Now it's a full safety car. We're under track conditions.
Has a lot of debris on
There's a lot of debris on there, and Savage Moses in 14th, he came from second, he's dropped quite a few positions, he'll make up some now. But the Williams, it's me, Buddha's got his car going again. Let's see, he's coming past the safety car. Yes, he can then obviously overtake the safety car, because the leader has to catch up to the safety car, and then they will have to fall up and line up behind the leader. So what he can do now is he can race off to the pits, change his tires out if he needs to or wants to change the strategy, and then fit a new wing, because him and Jacques Lagranci came together, and unfortunately Lagranci retired from that race.
I think if I had a song for this situation, then it will probably be "It's All Coming Back to Me Now," because it looks exactly the same as what our race was.
Yes. Look, ours did happen towards the middle of the race, and we had two safety cars pretty much in succession in two laps. But yeah, I mean, we've had total destruction, derby, carnage, and I couldn't believe it. The safety car didn't come out earlier, but so we've got some big losers and some big winners through all of this. I mean, Senior Ghost is up 12 positions, now 13 positions, as I think Nam Bulldog then goes into the pit. We have Rishan's up 9 spots, GJ Puerta up 7 spots, but biggest losers there, we've got Avilach down 13 positions, Tiger Bolt down 10 positions, he's in 18th, Savage Moses is from 2nd to 13th, so the guys are now diving into the pits. Eugene S44 second, he's made up some decent positions. But our biggest winners, Manu Dietrich and Senior Ghost, both up 30 positions in 3rd and 4th, came through all that carnage, no damage, no issue, no need to pit. Do you guys think it's too early to actually, if you don't have any damage, to go and change your tires? Or would you?
If I was in this position, I would throw on a medium at this moment, because I can almost guarantee there's going to be another safety car because of everyone piling up. Just to add, I said earlier, then if that safety car comes out, let's say lap 19, 18, you can throw on a set of softs, and the guys who can stay on mediums are sitting ducks. I would throw on a medium just to be safe, because like I said, I can almost guarantee there's going to be further chaos. Not jinxing it, but it's just the way this track is laid out.
Yeah, and as you see that we got, it's the nature of the races. These guys are so competitive, and they're such on a high level together. They're all professional. As I always say, you know, we don't come racing to take anyone out, but you're gonna get to a point where you're so evenly matched, and mistakes will be made because you're so competitive, and there's very little room for already margin for error. And unfortunately, as we've seen, when it does go wrong, it doesn't just go wrong for one driver because they're so closely and tightly packed together. Although yes, it is the start of the race, it is laps 1, 2 where we saw some of these incidents, but we're going to see these incidents irrespective because these guys are so closely competitive and so evenly matched through this as well. So hopefully, holding thumbs here, we don't have another incident where a safety car comes out and we can see the true race pace of these phenomenal drivers on the Codemasters F1 2019 game. And if you are enjoying this, please remember to like the stream, subscribe to the page, please share, get people to watch. Yeah, this is going to be some edge of the seat stuff right now.
Sheldon, I think the person who's in the best position at the moment for me is maybe a Nam Bulldog and SR Kedongs. They are both just thrown on a hard tire, so they'll maybe go on that hard tire until the end of the race. Whereas everyone above them from 8th until 1st place have not pitted yet, so they are maybe going for a completely different strategy. But just think at the end of the race they will be lacking a lot of pace if you want to go through on that hard tire until the end of the race.
Yeah. So yeah, Nam Bulldog, as you said, good donks. We also have Nick Kishan and Rishan and Tiger Bolt and Deervolt also opt in for those hards. So Willem, just for our viewers who might be new to the channel, and as we're speaking about the compound of tires, run us through the 3 compounds and what they are like to actually drive on and what you can expect from those tires.
Yeah, when it comes to the Pirelli Zeros, they're a very specific compound which was chosen by the FIA itself and Formula 1. And I think they go through a lot of strenuous tests, especially with the drivers and the test drivers of certain teams. And I think with a harder compound, you can expect a good to fair level of grip, but with a long endurance to certain tracks. I don't say that it will endure to a lot of tracks. And then you get your medium compound that's actually very fairly well to very good towards the grip levels where you can actually reach very, very high speeds and competitive levels, especially during a race as well. Whereby when you get your soft, which is like a 5-year-old dropping a strawberry ice cream at the beach, as sticky as that may be. So they don't really last that long. They'll go up to at least lap 9 if you look very well after them and control your temperatures. So
what
it's give and take.
Yeah.
It's Burnout just did a Willem and just cut a little grass getting into the pits. I see Leaf and Rome also went into the pits. I don't know why they went in now instead of a lap earlier. Maybe
So
some front wing damage.
Yeah, Lee is going for a front wing change. He's also putting the hards on. It's burnout. It's penalty. Yeah, serving a penalty there. So safety car, still under safety car conditions. Again, with those top 3 still on the same tyre they started on, as we can see. They've each done 5 laps. Manu and Boris also on the mediums. Well, sorry, on the mediums, doing 5 laps. Also on the original tyres. So all those who've done 5 laps, also include GJ Buerta and Savage. So those are the original tyres they started on. The rest all taking advantage of the slowdown in the race under the safety car, then to go in and change the tyres. So just a quick run through on the comments here on the stream. We have Hey Shallow referring to me. Gordon, are you driving safety car tonight? No, Gordon, I'm commentating, but there is a safety car right now on track. Theodore, you'll have to forgive me, I'm not going to pronounce your surname, I might wreck it. Giving us a little chameleon lizard there. Hier kort net beer. Yeah, we only need beer around here, boys. This is some exciting stuff. Some more support there for Manu and Barry's from Friedrich. We have Theodore, you're pretty funny. Give us a mouse with a moo there. We have Lionel say, "Come on, Lee," reminding me there of some Rush Hour. Come on, Lee. So some bad starts. Leaders should know better from Ernest. Some kamikaze for days there, Theodore. Omgerard there, some strange driving going around here. Yeah, some seriously strange driving from these guys. Don't know, must be nerves, sweaty palms. I don't want to fall into our M&M stuff again, but you know what I mean there, boys. Some nice recovery from the Merc team. Go, boys. Ernest Mormon, yes. So
safety car's in, guys.
Safety car goes in and Force leads us out. What is happening towards the back?
I just saw Wizard's rule under the safety car came in the back of Tiger Bolt and lost his front wing.
Eugene is 44 taking the lead away from Force 13, boys. He is... Oh, he slightly loses there. I'm actually going to go off him right now because Ghostmasters is giving us the error where the car continually revs up. Force 13 and...
It's burnouts out.
Force 13 around the... Off the track, you say. Oh, I've got some action as well on front here with Force and Eugene. Force 13 pushing Eugene all the way through. Now coming down, excuse me, towards Corpse through Maggots Beckett's. Not much room to... Oh, and Force 13 into the... Force 13 retires! He retires from the race. Oh, unfortunate there. He lost it going through. Corpse coming up, and safety car again, guys. We were racing for half a lap. Safety car in. Safety car just came in. It looks like the safety car just went to pits. He probably fitted new tires and a new front end, and he's going to come back out to take the boys around.
Gentlemen, I think I must start gambling more because I think I'm good at predicting stuff.
Yeah.
So
I don't
we
want to
got
sound like a certain someone, but I know we all probably know this certain someone, but it's like someone will say another one.
Another one.
Yeah.
Just another one. No, we don't want to be caught for copyright, so yeah, we won't monetize any of this stream. Some advice, obviously, from the guys, from myself, is please watch your deltas and yeah, slow the cars down. You don't want to be like me, where ignorance and arrogance got in the way of some solid points, and I ignored going into the pit to serve my penalty when I was speeding under the safety car. So if you guys are watching the stream while you are racing, please think of me. Maybe I saved you some time. Again, as we're under safety car conditions, we have in the pit, looks to me to be DBR 257. He's just on his way out. Avilach not far behind. Yes.
I think from position 1 to 6 has to pit at this moment. I don't think they can get another chance to be as close after pitting, because all from 1 to 6 have not pitted yet. I see everyone opting for hard except for a few. Italy Buddha is on a medium, It's Burnout is on a medium, and DBR is on a medium. Other than those boys, I think these hot compounds are going to get them through the into the race, unless we have another safety car incident.
Yep, let's hold thumbs. We do not have another safety car incident. We do want to see some racing, get some entertainment on the stream for our fellow watchers who are 23 now watching live. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for watching. I'm just looking at the comments. You don't see the comments up on my stream on the live feed because I'm not sure. I think there might be a privacy setting we just need to check on, because YouTube does change these things and we need to actually find out how to do it sometimes with them not giving us some instructions. So I'll just read them from my laptop here. So we got some support for SR Kedonks here from Paresh, yes, on one of our Formula 1 groups. Thanks Paresh for watching. I hope you are liking the stream. Lionel Bosson, man cave, shout out to Leaf and Roy and CFC. Tough times never last. Yes, tough times never last. We're gonna Lionel, Mr. Colored. Yes, we're referring to him. Only tough people last. Theodore, thank you, Theodore, keeping the stream very interesting here. Lionel, hey Shally, referring to me. What are you going to do to change the race? Very funny, Lionel. And then some support there for Boris and Manu again from, hey, a returning chatty in Romano Cornelius. Yeah, thank you Romano for coming back. Hope you liked the stream. Right, gentlemen, so we have Eugene S44 leading this race. Senior Ghost now second. Manu Dietrich third, Barry's fourth. What I want to also see is just these position changes quickly. Yes, Senior Ghost and Manu, my suspicions are correct. 14 positions made up. Barry's fourth, GJ Puerta, phenomenal as well, up 14 positions, avoiding all the incidents and crashes out front. Savage Moses, our only Alfa Romeo driver now in the race at 6th. He's down 4. Nam Bulldog still putting a stellar performance there. He's in 7th. Nick Gishin 8th. He's only down 1. Kedonks up 1 position from 10th. He's in 9th. Richard now in the Ferrari in 10th. So now, boys, as I said, no Ferraris in Q3, but 2 Ferraris in the top 10 right now. Senior Ghost absolutely putting in a great performance. Also then to see himself get through. I just want to see, I think the safety car is in this lap, so we will ride on board with Manu, who's now in 3rd, just to get a decent view of what's going to happen here. And so that's the top 10 up to Rishan of the Ferrari.
I think another discussion with Senior Ghost now in the week. He is a very experienced driver, driving in a lot of racing games, as I see the safety car coming in, so racing on again.
So I see it similarly happened to them, as you misjudge yourself about the safety car with the game. It actually prevents you going, but we are back to a green track again, and Eugene is now a second ahead of Senior Ghost. So he is now pulled away.
GJ Buerta just made a brilliant move in Paris. Well done to GJ Buerta.
And he's right at the back of Manu as well. He's going wheel to wheel, Manu. He's lost it. Oh, that's a bit unfortunate. Hope he can recover that. Toro Rosso, as we see now a Deerwald right at the back of Rish in the Ferrari. He might have a bit of bump drafting going on there. Coming down towards the 2 slower corners of the track, being Luffield and Brooklands. He makes it stick, takes 11th away from the Ferrari. There's a dust up between the Red Bulls. This is not the race for the Red Bulls. That's really come through.
The Williams drivers are just having the worst luck today, driving into every single car.
It's me, Buddha, there, being a victim of the 2 Red Bulls coming together. Not a great day for the Red Bulls after winning in Leaf and Roy, winning in Austria. Now this evening, that's not a great start. They'll both have to go into the pit. That means some double stacking for the Red Bull team. But we know they're pretty proficient.
The Williams of Itmi Buddha also has a lot of damage. You will have to pit.
There we go. Eugene S44 now coming into the pits. Manu then goes through the lead. Senior Ghost. Safety car again. 2 laps in and safety car. So maybe good decision for those.
Coffee, anyone? Coffee.
Yes, please. I'll take it as strong as you can, because this is gonna really keep us going for the evening. It's Burnout disqualified for ignoring a penalty. Oh no, hopefully he didn't pull the move up or spin on the safety car and ignoring, but this is a shambles right now.
I must give it to Tier 1 trying to copy our race as full as possible, but this is getting out of hand now.
Yeah, this really takes a new essence to Control C, Control V, as we have Manu Dietrich started 17th, now leading the race first from Nam Bulldog 88. Again, we're behind the safety car, so another 2 to 3 laps behind the safety car. Can I say, I think I've said safety car more than I've actually pronounced our drivers. So, safety car leads us around again. No one can overtake him. Boris then third. Nick Gishin fourth.
Sorry to just cut you off there.
No problem.
Manu Dietrich and Boris in the Mercedes, they have not pitted yet. And they are currently on the 10th lap of their mediums. So I think those two teammates are communicating something. I think they'll have to make a strategy, one pit and the other one keeps going out, but they'll have to pit because I think at this point those tires are going to start wearing off. If I were them, one would stay out, the other one would pit, and then the person who pits now should maybe put on another medium or even try. I know Boris is very good at managing tires, throwing on a soft and then catching everyone. Yeah, but like we said, if another safety car comes out, it changes the whole pattern again.
Well, yeah, this it makes it pretty difficult to now actually pull the trigger and determine when to go, because as it stands, we've had some close battles that's led to safety cars the safety car being leading most of the lap. So yeah, you pull the trigger, you fall to the back, safety car comes out, it works in advantage, you got fresh tires, you can go. So you know, it's a dust up, as you said, Marco. What do? Do you lose the track position to get fresher tires and know you're going to race till the end, or do you just hang on there, run your race, run your strategy irrespective of the safety car? So yes, I think the communication between the two drivers, as you can see, they still both out the same life of tires, is probably back and forth. Also maybe getting some advice from other drivers or some other friends they might have on their chat party that's giving them some advice. But it's going to be interesting to see what the Mercedes garage actually does. But Nam Bulldog then sitting probably very pretty, as well as Nick Gishin on hards. They can go to the end. As you know, if you keep those hards warm towards the later half of their life, they actually give you some decent performance. But yeah, you will come under threat from the guys on the mediums or the softs. But I think Nam Bulldog 88 and Nick Gishin really in a solid position there. Also Eugene and Senior also on fresher medium. So we can't say change the strategy for safety car, because we've had 3 safety cars, and I think the guys are even themselves getting confused. I'm even confused. What about you guys?
It messes up good racing circuit here at Silverstone, because it is a fast pace and it's actually very good to see people pass each other on these corners. I think patience. I think when the safety car comes in, yes, you want to fight for positions, but maybe just have patience. And because you saw the guys aren't even involved. They aren't even involved in an incident, and then there's a car sideways in the middle of the road and you get hit. Yeah. So I think patience. The tier 1 drivers need to show a little patience and
find some rhythm in the first 2 or 3 laps and then start attacking. I'm with you. As Manu now comes towards the Vale corner, which is 16, 17, through club to 18 to start us, and hopefully we get a green track for a few more laps in 2 or 3. So he's nice and clear. Barry's pretty close to Nam Bulldog on the restart there. I think Nam Bulldog will have him cut off down this section. But yeah, the long straight coming. Barry's on the and Bulldog and going out there, unfortunately,
that is
for
usually what happens you don't keep your tires that warm, it's gonna happen. You have to at least 3, 4, 5 turns just trying to get some heat in those tires.
We also have
Otherwise,
GJ Boert also facing the wrong way. My apologies there in Farm Curve. He's got it going again. It's Wizards Rules trundling out of the pits. So some serious shake-ups, but Manu Dietrich still leading us through here. Barry's his teammate right behind him. Nick Gishen third now, and unfortunately Nam Bulldog falling out. He would also been in a pretty position. Deervold up to fourth as well. He did not qualify in Q3, but he's done a fantastic job to keep himself in fourth. And it's the pink car. I used to drive with the Racing Point in Tier 2, so I've got an affinity and a love for the pink car right now. Eugene S44 down to fifth. He was in second, but he did pit. So did Senior Ghost. Savage Moses in seventh on the hard tires. He's also in a advantageous position because he can run to the end of the race on those hards. Tiger Bolt 8th. Oh no, we have Eugene that spun out now. Eugene's dropping down the order. He's lost it unfortunately. Kadong Samworth now, he's in 10th. It's me, Buddha, one of the Williams. He's still running the points, although he's had some
went wide. We have Baris now taking the lead. Sorry, Sheldon.
No, 100%. Thank you. And even Nick Gishen then takes advantage of that and comes through on the Mercedes-Benz. Thank you, Mark, for spotting that. My apologies.
I think Nick Gishen is now in a very good position. If he can keep these hard tires until the end, I think he's in a very good position because Baris and Manu Dietrich will have to pit at some point. We just saw Manu going off, so maybe those tires are now starting to show. So if I was Nick, I would just have patience and wait for these two Mercedes drivers to pit and then just take it safely to the end.
Yeah, so I think they should, you should definitely play that ploy like we saw in the Brazilian Esports Grand Prix, as one of the Haas runs wide in the background there, where you saw Albon and Leclerc just changing positions voluntarily just to save those tires, but they played the long game. So yes, that's what Nick Gishen should do, play the long game. If he gets the opportunity, overtake, but I don't think fight too much with Baris. Preserve those tires. We know Baris will have to pit, so he will have track position over Baris when he comes out. So League now goes up to 11th. He's just overtaken Abelach. This is going to be quite an interesting battle between Lee and Abelach. We haven't seen this yet. And Nick Gishen then sets the quickest time on a 1:32.626. He's on the fastest lap at the moment. DRS is now enabled, and Lee goes pretty wide through the final corner there. As Eugene S44, who dropped back quite drastically, is right on the tail of Abelach. He's going to have DRS now coming down, with the Wellington straight. So there will have to be put up a fight from Abelach. Rishan down in 14th. It's Wizards first rule, our American compatriot. He's in 15th. GJ Boert, unfortunately having a spin out, he is down in 16th. But Barry's still leading. We do have a swap in position between It's Me Buddha and Nam Bulldog. It's Me Buddha making a nice clean pass on Nam Bulldog at 8, but Nam Bulldog is on the hards. He might have track position come It's Me Buddha and perhaps maybe needing to pit. But Nam Bulldog is fighting back on him, right on the back and wheel, right through Maggots, coming through Beckett's. A bit of a tight right into Chapel. Sorry, yes, we do have a yellow flag. You say Manu is...
I think he's struggling on those medium tires. I think now's the time to pit, as he loses the back end again almost. I think now's the time for Manu to pit, because it doesn't play off when you try and stay out, and then he loses or gets himself
on the line. He loses completely! Oh, there's
a
Williams right into him. Another Williams. Unfortunately, Williams don't have the budget to be fixing these parts this often.
I don't see a lot of damage.
No damage there, you say? Right. Okay, hopefully he can get that going and not have to pit again. He's had some seriously bad luck. As we ride on board with Nick Gishen, he's under second behind Boris as we go down the Wellington Straight, then towards Brooklands and Luffield. But DRS, Willem, again, for those who might be new to our channel watching, DRS, can you just walk us through the technicalities behind it?
Yeah, you see, DRS, it is enabled by the track or certain sections of the track where they see fit is the fastest. Further on then, they'll decide on the track conditions, the pace, etc. Then they'll activate. It's a small little wing on the rear wing that actually lets more air through the rear side of the fuselage, which just creates less downforce or less force against the car, which makes it a little bit quicker. But I think with a rich fuel mix and a hot lap, you can actually achieve very high speeds with that DRS open.
Sheldon, I don't know if you are watching the battle for 8th position between Lee van Rooyen and Bulldog and Avilach. It is heating up a lot.
Right, so I am with Lee now. I was just trying to get some comments read as well while our esteemed technical colleague there, my apologies to the stream, with Lee now coming up behind one of our new drivers, this is me, Buddha. So, yeah, Lee van Rooyen's got a lot to fight for here as Lee leads the championship with 2 from 2, so he's now on 50 points. Oh no, and one of that Savage Moses who's lost 2 positions now, he must have run wide. He goes bang to bang wheel with Lee. He's now gone off the circuit as he retired. He's dropping down the order, so that's another of the Alfa Romeos who locked out the grid, locked out the front row. Now both of them out. Unfortunate there, as we see Tiger Bolt and DBR 257 pretty close together. Tiger Bolt only half a second behind his teammate. An overtaking opportunity coming up now at the hangar straight. We have a DRS detection zone, as eloquently explained by our technical Willem, our technical Puffmace, that this allows the car then to get that extra kph by allowing more air to flow through the car. Yes, sorry, Marco, you did want to mention something about the Alphas?
Yeah, I just want to say, I think that you said that Alfa Romeo reliability.
Sorry, Marco, Lee spinning out, going back to 10th position from 8th.
There is, it's a tough day at the office for all the drivers, it seems. Tougher for Lee still, as I said, quite a lot on his shoulders as he's 1-2 from 2, so big expectation, but I think pretty much in control of this race. Barry's now 2.5 seconds clear of Nick Kishan, as he's now lapped GJ Butter, so that's the second of the Toro Rossos you saw in the shot there that just appeared. So what happens is when the leaders come up to the back markers, as GJ Buerta comes back onto the track in front of his teammate, unfortunately just maybe also losing the back end again, is the game then ghosts the car, the back marker, to allow the front runners to pass through safely without them having to get out the way, and then that's why you see the car just popping out of nowhere. So it's not do you see the car, don't you see the car.
Great battle for 5th place here between it's me, Buddha, and Senior Ghost. It's me, Buddha, going past Senior Ghost. Guys, I think we have a tire whisperer as Barry just goes in. I wanted to say that Barry goes in from the lead to pit. I think he'll be on a soft and he will be very quick. Interesting to see where he will come out.
We've got 8 laps left, so from lap 19 to lap 26, so it's 8 laps. That's definitely in the range of the softs, as we do see the softs going on for Barry's. He's in, but he's going to lose a whole lot of track position now as a gaggle of cars come through past him.
Sheldon.
So, yes, sir.
No, it's Buddha and Avilach making contact on that last corner, going very fiercely through that first as well. Yeah, I see there here by Skadong's Avilach and HB Buddha. It's some tight racing is going on there, but I don't see any crucial damage on any of the cars.
With Avilach now, and I do see that it looks like they're all pretty clear. Nose, front wings look pretty okay. And now also, as we mentioned, Barry's is going to have to come through this pack. He's going to be fast, yes. However, you're going to have drivers in front of you fighting for position as well. A pretty close, tightly packed. So he needs to make good, clear, quick moves on them. Hopefully in DRS positions where he doesn't lose too much time. As you see, Avalach coming right on the back of Gedonks, and now it's both on similar age tyres. And the Haas slightly goes a little bit wide through the first part of Maggots, loses slightly a bit of time there, but he will still have DRS coming down the Hanger Straight.
A driver will have to look at his tiger bolt as well. He is on the back of his teammate DBR. Nick Gushin has a nice lead at the front. I think this long run on the hards is going to pay off for him unless Tiger Bolt or DBR can catch him. But
well, if I was Tiger Bolt now, teammates, boys. That's what I was just about to say. I would be asking my teammate, please. I've got three laps of tires fresher. Let's get the points for the team. Let me through. Let me chase down Nick Gushin. Let me make a favor, but obviously no love loss. Yes, there we go. Tiger Bolt.
Give him the space. I don't think we are dead giving there at the end. Maybe just hearing what you had to say.
Fantastic there. Great teamwork there. I'd love to see those two pink cars on the podium. I'm also, I'm the reserve driver for Tier 2. I'm a Tier 2 driver reserve for Tier 1. I would love to see these two boys up on top of the podium. Either one of them at the top. And maybe just catching up now to Nick Gushin for that. So it looks like some communication then between the two of them, which is fantastic. And look, you can always exchange the favor towards the latter part of the race. If you as the lead driver see that you've been given the space by your teammate to go through and you weren't able to capitalize, and if you have an agreement, a gentleman's agreement, you can obviously cede that position back to your teammate for it, because at the end of the day, you as a constructor then still get that points. But as we see, Abalach now right on the back of Gedonks, which is the leading Red Bull now. 6 is Lee van Rooyen's down in 13th. He's had some issues through the race, some spin-outs and some contact. But Barry's now, setting the pace, going fastest lap of a 1:30.543. He's down in 10th. He's got some doing to get back up to the lead of the race. And Dierwold not actually falling off the pace either, keeping well up with his teammate, maybe following in tandem. These two teammates really keeping the teammate spirit alive between the two of them, and chasing after that Toro Rosso, which I must say is looking in absolute control of this race. 6 seconds down the road. He's not putting any tires off the road incorrectly. He's just looking like he's having a fantastic race. He doesn't have any back markers that's going to worry him in the next lap or two. He does have a Ferrari in front of him, but it'll take him maybe a lap or two to catch up. And I think he'll make a pretty clear, easy move on that Ferrari. So luckily, safety car sessions were done and dusted. We haven't had too many issues furthermore than that.
Oh, it's been put on outside of Avilach here. They're trying to go for this. I think the next few corners might be very, very important to this outcome of this race for certain drivers. But I see this battle from 4th until 8th. These guys are really pushing the limits here.
So as you drive on board with these people, you can see there's the 4 cars in front of him from his view. So pretty close. He gets right on the back of Avilach, and he slightly poses him, slightly loses, but there's both skilled drivers, and they keep it straight and they keep it narrow, they keep it going. And Boris is now hunting down this pack, so he's going to be coming onto them. He's catching them at a serious rate. He's moved from 10th to 9th. Soft tires working for him. Savage Moses left the session. Yeah, Savage Moses was one of our retirements. So retirements, the guys out. Yeah, Savage Moses in the Alfa Romeo. He started second. Was 13. He was on pole, also Alfa Romeo. Jacques Lagranci. He was in an unfortunate incident with his teammate, his Mibuda. And then it's Burnout 007. I was not on him board with him when he retired, but I think Marco, you did see issue.
Sorry, Sean, just repeat that.
Yeah, it's Burnout 007. When you saw what happened to him?
I'm not sure. I think it was a penalty, did not
and
serve.
Avila goes down the inside of Kadongs. Kadongs drops down to 8th. He loses the back end. He's facing the wrong way. He lets the McLaren come past first before he rejoins the track. That's very mindful. He knew a driver was coming and allowed the driver to come past before resuming his race. It's very mindful. There could have been another dust up and a safety car coming through. As we see Tiger Bolt now slowly making his eating away at the lead of Nick Gishin. So Nick Gishin must, Willem, if you could just have a look at Nick Gishin's ERS deployment and his fuel mixture, because I think he's currently in cruise control mode, controlling the pace up front. Just seen that Toro also through to the end of the race.
Yeah, I can see he's gaining and losing at the same time, so he might be running on a medium setup here with a standard fuel mix. That's usually your best bet at the end of the day. But if you saved up at least 1.8 or at least 2 laps extra, rather use it this last 2 laps, because you know you can burn that fuel and yet gain some more time. But in his position, Tiger Bolt's far away, he's far ahead. It's not worth it at the end of the day. If you can stick the pace like this with a lead mixture as well, you might as well just carry on like this.
Barris is now on the back of Avila.
Riding on with Barris now. Yes, he's now up to 7th. I see Lee's now smashed in the fastest lap. Unfortunately, he's in 13th, so he will not gain that extra point you get for the fastest lap. So he's got some making up to do if he wants to claim that additional point. So I just want to see some, get back to some comments here. Gerard Kotze, 1-2 should have pit now. Okay, these are some older comments. Lionel's there nicely spamming our comments. Thank you, Lionel. Some support there for Lee, bringing us some nostalgic days from Northern Strikers, the cricket team we had in Port Elizabeth. He's loving the commentary. Thank you very much. Yeah, social distancing, please, boys. Even for the guys on track, let's keep it away from each other. Gerard Kortze, there goes Lee, teammates taking one another out. Yeah, we've seen some issues between the Williams and well as the Red Bulls. There was some unfortunate driving. You guys are doing great with the commentary. Yeah, thank you, Willem, and thank you, Marco, for helping with the commentary as well. These guys
goes wide and Barris goes for the move and loses the car. Patience again. I must say, Avila is giving, the boys are giving him a royal time. He has to be defending the whole time, but luckily doing a good job, and now he's on the back of Senior Ghost.
So we'll have a look at his the tyres here. Avila on 15 lap old mediums. It's me Buddha on 19 lap old. So yeah, they're all around the same performance. But if we look at Nam Bulldog, who's in 4th, again, absolutely stellar race. 21 laps as well as Nick Gishin on those hard. So that was fantastic forethought by the two older, wiser racers. They got a good racing head on them to have gone onto those hards.
Barry's taking that 7th place from Inspe Buddha. Sorry, Sheldon.
No problem, Barry's. Yeah, we obviously want to see if him move up.
Barry's is flying here. I think he gained a lot of ERS during this past 2 or 3 laps. So he's putting it all to use now, especially you're on lap 25 now. Might as well give it all. Gain a position or 2 out of it, but yet you must be conservative and take any opportunity that comes to your hand.
100%. And with those fresher tires, he can really be pushing and going on. Is that me or is there drops falling on that Mercedes? Wow. 1 lap to go, and now the rain wants to make an appearance. The rain's not going to have an effect on this race because Nick Gishin has now started the last lap of the Silverstone Grand Prix for FTR race in round 3. I'm going to put on his telemetry. I know we do not like to do this. We don't want to give away too much what's happening on track, as a lot of the drivers follow the stream. He'll be pretty okay towards the end, towards this end of this race. He's got a 4-second buffer to Tiger Bolt. Racing Point finishing, hopefully will be finishing second and third. I'm very delighted by that. We'll obviously have to check as they come over the line what the penalties look like. But as the rain comes down now in Silverstone on the last lap, will not have an effect on the race at all. As we see, Barry's now only 0.4 of a second behind Senior Ghost, so that's a position for some points there. Barry's, Senior Ghost and Abelach pretty much close start. Barry's goes on the inside and he takes him as they come through now down towards excuse me.
Yeah, Marco.
Sorry,
I just think like you have to grab those points now while it's there, because it's on a platter, so might as well take it, make the use of it. Abelach is pulling away from this.
I'm just going to put our attention to Nick Gishan as he comes through Stowe down towards Vale. He takes Vale through Club. Now this is the last time he'll be coming through this. He comes over the line. Nick Gishan on the hards, 23 laps. He drove out of his skin, but he drops to second because of penalties. So Tiger Bolt, Devils actually takes the one. Tiger Bolt also with some penalties. Oh no, 1-2 for Racing Point. I'll take it any day of the week. Yes, boys, thank you very much. Racing Point 1-2. Deerwold giving his teammate the opportunity to chase down Nick and being well rewarded, actually winning, taking home the full points. Tiger Bolt second, Barry's third. Nick Gishan unfortunately drove a stellar race, dropping to fourth.
Barry's in third.
Barry's in third. What a recovery drive, yes, absolutely awesome. We have Nam Bulldog in fifth, also fantastic race. Also maybe dropped down because of penalties. Senior Ghost there in 6th, Avilach 7th. He's come out on top of that battle he had going. It's me, Buddha, then in 8th, one of our new drivers. Congratulations, scoring the first points there in the FTR racing. Eugene S44 down in 9th, as we saw some rain falling down on the boys. Kadonks then wrapping up the points, so he gets 1 point for the Red Bull team, which has been a hard day at the office for Christian Horner. It's Wizard's first rule there, 11th, and Lee 12th. Just did not see who finished 13th and 14th. 13th actually was, yes. There's unfortunately block move there. Will you boys help me get our top 3 in? And
out, shall we?
Perfect. Thank you very much. I appreciate the assistance, boys. Boys, what do we think about that? Racing Point 1 and 2. I love it.
Clean race will always give you points. I think Deerwold showed great character, letting his teammate go past and getting the least penalties and getting the win. I think that's phenomenal. My driver of the day by far.
Yeah, I totally agree with that one.
Good, so I'm just going to read some comments until the boys come in to us. My apologies to your comments here. Thank you very much. There's been a lot of comments and it's been quite difficult to pick out the best ones to actually read. But we have Divan49 Racing on our commentary, on our comments. We would have loved to see you racing in this because it was absolutely awesome. So let's go, Eugene, back in the orange machine. Yes, that's his teammate. Good job on the commentary again, PE boys. Yeah, I'm originally from PE. My apologies. Lionel unlucky lead tonight then. So Sean van Rooyen, some support there for Lee. Swazer says Gerard Kotze. Yeah, bedoel ons bicycle, Theodore. I think the guys are chatting amongst each other in the comments. I can't follow the conversation, so my apologies if I'm reading out some of the comments and I'm not following the full story. Moy Deerwold there again, yes, congratulations to Deerwold, absolutely fantastic. Have they joined us yet, guys?
Yes, all 3 drivers are with
my apologies. Okay, right, so Willem, thank you very much. Willem will be doing our commentary.
Hi, TBR, how are you doing? Hello? Is Deerwold here?
No, he's
Barry's,
not in the party.
Let's start with buddies.
Barry's, how you doing?
How's it, guys?
So from where you ended up until you crossed that line, that's quite a big jump.
Yeah.
Are you impressed with how your driving was throughout the race?
Well, my driving, I'm very, very satisfied with the way I drive. I knew there was a lot of penalties. Guys would corner cut a lot, so I was just aiming on being very consistent. My aim of the race was to end up top 5, so at least I did get that. But yeah, this is definitely a race I want to forget.
Boris, I wanted to say in the stream, just before you went into pit on those 17 level mediums, I think you are a tire whisperer, getting the best out of those tires. My question to you is, how on earth did you not get any penalties in a race like this? Because it was utter chaos throughout. So I want to say congratulations and just want to hear your thoughts. Does it take more patience, or do you maybe hold back and wait for other guys to make the mistake, or just to get an idea?
Yeah, no, definitely. Practice is key. You need to put in the time to take the corners perfect, basically to get into the race confident enough to take the corners aggressively, and yeah, basically that's it. Practice makes perfect, and if you are confident enough to take the race and take the difficult corners head on, then you basically above the rest of the drivers.
Now, Willem, I thank you, boys. Great race, and I think just again, congratulations on having no penalties throughout the race. Willem, I think we have Tiger Bolt as well in this session.
How's that, Tiger Bolt? How are you doing?
Oh, thanks.
So you started new in this league. This is actually your second race in the league. How have you experienced it thus far with our league as FTR?
It's good. There's a lot of fast drivers and it's very competitive.
So how's things been with Devil in the racing points as well? You guys sharing a lot of strategies, tire choices?
Yeah, and we gave each other DRS for a long while, and then he let me pass because I had a bigger penalty than me.
Oh, that's Willem. I think there we have our answer in the stream. We said Dewald must maybe give Tiger Bolt the gap to go past. So I think that's a good example of how communication can win you a race. Racing Point, the Barbie car, 1-2. Tiger Bolt, I think at some point, maybe mistaken here, I said we must watch out for you because your medium tires were about 2 laps fresher than the other guys in front of you. So again, I think you are a master strategist with the tires. So I want to comprehend, and congratulations to the Racing Point team.
Yeah, it was a hard race because I lost connection in the beginning and dropped to P20. So I just thought what strategy I'm going to do on each safety car, and it worked out very good.
Yeah, well done. Thank you, Tygwold, and congratulations again. And then, Willem, we have our race winner, I think, also in the party now.
Yeah, last not least, Mr. Dewald. How are you doing this evening? Can't complain. So you see, your persistence and certain level of patience actually brought you to first place. How was the drive? Yeah, I must totally agree with that. I must totally agree with that, because if you guys don't practice that at an earlier point, you're gonna get completely mixed up in this whole field of chaos, as Pandejo also said. So rather stick together, and you might as well slingshot each other throughout the race and just give each other that edge of making good points for the team and for yourself personally as well.
Yeah, Devil, just to fall in as well, I think two things. Number one, allowing obviously Tiger Ball through to chase down Nick for fantastic teamwork, but also the challenges you had yourself to get into the race as well. I mean, I think we were 10 minutes before the race and you were setting up your new account because PlayStation was blocked. So how do you feel now, knowing what happened then to, winning the race? I mean, all this, and now you won the race.
Me and Tiger Bolt spoke just before the race, and I told him, in qualifying 2, I never used max fuel. I don't know, I was concentrating so hard on doing a perfect lap, and my fuel was on low.
Oh, yeah.
And then I did 129 over 130 something. So I was out of qualifying 3. So I told him, but it's fine. Your decision to go out and do another fastest lap or stay in, and then you can start the race on a fresh of race.
Yeah. Again, I think fantastic display there of team communication, just helping each other out, and I love it because Racing Point is on top, and it could have been 2-2 for us had I not been a bit of a idiot. But congratulations, guys! Fantastic, well done to Racing Point and Boris. Cool deal. Boys, so last order of business, if the drivers' interviews are done, we actually forgot to, in the carnage and the excitement, driver of the day.
My driver, they will go to Paris.
Yeah,
Yep.
I would agree.
Sensible.
I think I'm gonna go with DBR. I think the communication with his teammate and the hard work they put in. I know Boris is a very good driver, but I think DBR deserves this first place, and he deserves the driver of the day from me.
I'm going to agree with you, Marco, as well on Diewold, so that knowing the challenges with his account and to get a new account set up and then not make it into Q3 and to actually get through all the carnage, because starting in the mid-pack and you have a lot of incidents in front of you, to skip through that, to run a good strategy. I also agree with you on Diewold. So in our comments, I know the guys did ask, maybe some guys have left now, but if you definitely want to comment on your driver of the day, definitely do. We'll check it out and maybe just comment later on to say who our viewers' driver of the day was. But I think everybody was a driver of the day because it was a action-packed full race, and those who completed it fantastically, obviously missing out on those collisions and getting through the race. So yeah, boys, next week we are in Germany, Monday 7:45 for Tier 2. Then Wednesday we have a very special guest joining us on Wednesday for the commentary in qualifying. I won't actually say anything now. We will be announcing it later on this week. But I think he's right now, he's probably the biggest name in gaming in South Africa. And we are fortunate enough to be that he's going to take some time and chat to us about the things he's doing, and hopefully he can be a spokesperson on his platform for us. So Willem, Marco, again, fantastic having you guys with me, supporting me, backing me up, and next week again, boys. Until then, thank you very much.
Yeah, cool. Thank you very much. Have a nice evening, guys.
Alright,
Thanks,
boys
guys,
and
and
girls.
again, congratulations to everyone.
Thank you, and good night, YouTube.